Welcome back to the You Like That podcast with me, Jack.
And me, Adam.
And today we're doing my least favourite movie of all time. And Adam thought it would be funny to let me host on this one. Now, before we start, I don't want to say we're the most important thing in the world, but the weekend we did a podcast on Sonic the Hedgehog, it's the number one movie at the box office. And I feel like that's 100% because of us.
It is definitely a high possibility it is because of us, because we did it so soon.
So we can now call this a world-changing podcast.
I think everyone that's been here since day one, you will be rewarded eventually. Not with money. Not with money or anything like that. It'll just be like a personalised, yeah, thanks.
Cheers. Maybe a comment back on Facebook if we're like not at work or something.
Yeah, which either way, I'll probably still comment back anyway.
Yeah, I don't do work at work. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to host this one.
All right.
I'll do the intro, but
that's all right.
I refuse to talk
We'll
about it.
We'll pass it on. Okay, so, yes, we're doing Venom.
Ugh. God.
The 2018 Sony-made adaptation of Venom, not involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, only associated with Marvel, so you know where this leads to a superhero movie that is not continuing on the massive legacy that is Marvel and the world that they have created. So, directed by Ruben Fleischer, whatever you want to call him.
I would say Fleischer, yeah.
Fleischer, yeah. The guy that just did Zombieland 1 and 2, and that's about it. A couple other things.
No shit. Yeah. Is that who it is?
He did the 2 Zombielands.
No wonder I fucking hate this movie. Okay.
So, directed by him, starring Tom Hardy as Venom, Riz Ahmed as Carlton Drake, Michelle Williams, and Reed Scott. Any notable people in here, as well as the late cameo appearance of Woody Harrelson. Now, this movie budgeted, estimated around 116 million. Box office still raked in just under $900 million.
God, that is unbelievable. That is an unbelievable number.
It is a fucking
not even just
number.
For this movie, just for movies.
Just in general. There's
it's
some
insane number.
Because there's some really fucking good movies out there that don't break near this figure.
God, no.
So it begs the question is, this movie came out to a lot of negative response.
Yeah.
A bit of, some people enjoyed it, like myself. A lot of people that just fucking hated it for a lot of reasons that we'll get into. But it begs that first question of, with such a big box office return, how's it still a fucking shit movie?
Because it's just... But everyone is fucking stupid except for me.
I don't think it's just you. I think there still is a massive consensus that are with you on it.
I don't really remember it being marketed that hard. Like,
no,
there was only a couple of trailers. They didn't do anything great, like no big stunts or anything.
No,
it just came out at a weird time. I guess there was nothing else around. I guess we should have looked if there was like a dip in hero movies in that time. Maybe it's slotted in between say Captain Marvel and whatever was before Captain Marvel. Like that year, I think it was Black Panther or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but maybe it felt people thought it would fill that.
There wasn't anything else around that would have been worth going to see.
Yeah, and they thought they were just like, oh, whatever. It's loosely associated with Spider-Man. Well, it'll probably be good.
Yeah. So, looking at it, the only movies along the superhero train that came through in 2018 was Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man and Wasp. But those were all months before Venom's release, and nothing else after that was until Captain Marvel in March 2019.
March, fuck me. Yes, so that's a massive
gap.
There
was a gap in the superhero train, so I guess, you can say that it was just people trying to still get that.
And people were like this is why I went and saw it. I was curious to see if they kept Spider-Man a secret. Somehow they kept him a secret and just put him in there. So, like Tom Holland would have popped up at some point.
Yeah.
Well, not even Tom Holland. Maybe their own Spider-Man. Maybe they got Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
whatever. But, that didn't happen either.
No. So, the obvious place we go to for the ratings review is Rotten Tomatoes, which critics gave it 29%.
Ooh.
To the critics is a big flop.
Yeah.
But to an audience rating of 80%.
Yeah, that's massive.
Which is usually always a standard. There is that higher number of the audience that do enjoy it for the people that want to.
Which is generally the one you would go off if you're going to go watch a movie.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
I never like to base my viewings off critic reviews.
Because critics are a different breed.
Yeah, they're completely looking to fucking
tear it apart. Yeah, exactly.
Ruin a movie. But the audience is just there. Yeah. Unlike us, where we just tell you that.
They're just like,
meh. Yeah, we liked it. Or, yeah. Shit, we ain't fucking critics.
Yeah.
Oh, we give it a shot.
We're an audience who bought a microphone and had this idea.
Yeah, we just use free software and just go, you now have to listen to us because now we're on all your major streaming platforms. So
there you go.
You're going to listen to us one day.
Hi, Canada.
yes, to the new Canadian listeners. How are you? So that raises that. And
the thing is, even if it is a shit movie, if no one knows that it's a shit movie, they've already bought their ticket.
Yeah, correct.
They go and they sit through it and they go, oh, that was a bit of a shit movie.
Yeah, because there was a lot.
Sony gets their money.
It was the thing where the trailers came out and they did just as trailers do, give you just enough to make you want to go to the movies and see what it's about.
That first Venom reveal in the trailer, it turned me around on the movie. I was like, oh, I'm actually excited to see this now.
Yeah.
And then I just avoided any other promos because I was like, if I look at him too much, I might pick out flaws.
Yeah.
So I just watched that trailer, stayed excited, and then went and saw it.
And then it all changed around for Jack.
And you know what? This might feed into the bias. I forgot it was school holidays when I went and saw it.
Yep.
So I just went on I was like, oh, Friday midday. There'll be no one there in Wollongong, small town, Fuck me. It was a sold out session. There was just kids running amok. Because it's not, I don't think it was even MA. I think it was M.
This was PG-13 in the States, so therefore it would have warranted, I think still the PG or just that flat M.
I think it's an M, yeah. So there were just kids running amok, and I was just like, I am so miserable.
And it would have been even more so after you came out of that.
Absolutely correct.
So that rating is another big thing about it. Is the PG rating another factor into what brought this movie down?
Possibly. I don't know. You can do a lot more with an R rating.
Yeah.
But then, you can still have a shit R-rated movie.
Yeah. I think knowing the character of Venom and trying to get this very chaotic and bloodthirsty villain, you really need to portray him in that rating zone of MA R-rated.
They've written themselves into a hole because Carnage is the next villain.
Yes.
And Carnage is like Venom on crack.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
It's Carnage.
Exactly.
But with this one, in the movie you get those glimpses of action where there should be a lot of fucking blood happening.
It almost feels like there was, and it's just quickly edited away, to cut it down.
There were many moments as I rewatched it last night where I was like, fuck, that's a blatant moment where someone gets stabbed or...
And he talks about it a lot. He talks about eating body parts and stuff.
It's just very verbal.
Yeah.
But nothing fucking comes to fruition. No, you get... even near the end when Riot comes out of Carlton Drake and he's in the little lab center part and Riot just completely stabs into a dude, and it's that classic PG-13 violent moment where it stabs through, comes out, and there's not a scratch on the guy.
Nothing.
Just falls to the ground.
Just a little bit of a sound effect.
And he's wearing a white shirt.
Yeah.
Should be a bit of blood.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then just completely obliterates the whole thing with one clear swipe through, and you're like, well, everyone should be in half by now. No, they all just got flung back by the sharp-ass blade that just was something blunted for them.
It just knocked them over a little bit.
Yeah.
Knocked over some computers.
Exactly. And then also the whole eating heads part, which, you get that at one part, and it's just that very quick, visually edited, let's try and make this a quick take and not show any form of blood whatsoever. You get that taste that he does.
So Venom happens around Eddie Brock, right? Eddie Brock is still in there as Eddie Brock.
Yes.
Is he digesting the heads?
That's a fucking good question.
Or is it going in front of
the anatomy of Venom is very weird because this is a very strange sort of take of a villain where it is when you think about it, the symbiotes that are down on Earth now, they are just this goopy goo that have to take over a host.
Yeah, but they just sort of wrap themselves around a host.
Yeah, so they never.
But if they they change his whole personality and stuff when
Yeah.
he is Venom, but he's like talking to Venom in. It's like it's an Iron Man suit,
Yeah,
and he's just like talking. It's not really clear.
yeah, but it makes me think as well. So if they're not in a solid state now, and they have to latch onto someone to become who they are.
Yeah.
Is that what they're like on their own home planet? Do they just have empty hosts?
There's a line and Venom's just like, oh, I'm kind of a loser on my planet. So, like, is he just like a little kid at school, like, getting bullied with his backpack? Like,
the worst kind. That's the thing. He blatantly says he is the fucking weakest of any of the symbiotes, and that's said in comics as well, as that Venom actually isn't the strongest of any of the symbiotes.
He's just like the most personable. Yeah. He has like a massive personality, pretty much.
And like he's funny. You gotta say he's funny.
Yeah, there's some good banter between the two, I guess.
That's one of the big things I liked was Tom Hardy is an absolutely amazing actor.
In movies, yes. Say in Mad Max Fury Road, perhaps.
But he didn't have much to do in that movie. That's just
perhaps the movie Legend. Not this movie. Is this a good time to tell you? It's almost 15 minutes in. I didn't watch this again, so I am making shit up as I go.
That's completely fine. I did not expect you to watch it again because I feel like you may have just...
Because my original idea for this episode was I was going to try and remember what happened.
Yeah.
But I like your idea better, so we'll stick to yours.
Yeah.
It's a bit more structured.
I feel like if I can just remind you of little glimpses and it just triggers a very bad memory in your head and you just start breaking
of a little
shit
kid like spitballing me from fucking the back of the cinema.
Yeah, and that eventually by the end of this he's going to be on the floor crying a pool of tears. And that's my goal for this episode, basically. But I really like Tom's performance in this movie.
He is good. I'm joking. He is very good in this.
Yeah.
Like he does the slowly getting sick, turning sort of thing really well.
Yeah, it's a very good take, and just as I said, the banter between him and Venom is very. I laughed many times every time they have a little altercation because I just find the dialogue that Venom has is hilarious at most points and sort of takes away from his evil demeanor that he should have. And he's just like, he's just a funny guy.
He's like a jokey boy, yeah. Yeah, that's the...
No wonder you're
that's sort of his goal.
Yeah, it's like, no wonder you're a fucking loser on your planet.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. So
how does he get it on him? I don't remember. He goes
so he
to
basically,
the lab?
Yeah, so Eddie Brock being this journalist that just goes too far in a lot of situations is looking into Carlton Drake's Life Foundation because they're under allegations of taking people against their will, sort of making them sign their life away without understanding the form and using them as test subjects for the symbiotes that he has gone and
it's like worse off people.
Found.
Like
it's basically mostly just homeless people.
Yeah.
They're just taking homeless people off the street saying, oh, you come trial this and we'll give you this and you'll be all sweet. And then they get there and they just throw this goo at them and just see what happens.
Torn apart.
So, yeah, Eddie's sort of like going there in a bit of a secrety, stealthy mission type thing to sort of find what's going on and finds that his like local homeless girl that he's friends with is under a test subject with one of the symbiotes in her, and she breaks out of her little containment lab and just jumps on Eddie. The goo transports from her to him, and then he sort of runs out.
Yeah, right.
To which he gets back home in his apartment. He's all sweaty
and Riot is the little Asian girl who gets on a plane by herself.
So Riot is the one that goes full like weirdly Terminator style, where it just infects one person and then it's just. But
it's like a little girl at an airport with no parents.
It got to there first. You had like.
Let me finish my joke.
Okay, sorry.
And no, I'm kidding. And she just like gets on a plane by herself, and then
I know.
And she's just sitting on the plane by herself, and then she gets off. Somehow gets to the fucking lab by herself, and then I guess security is
It's very fucking. That's it. That's one of the things that really.
It's one of those convenient edits where they're just like, right to the lab now.
Yeah,
don't worry about the little.
He's so smart to navigate through this new Earth. He just knows how to get.
Because it is still the girl when she lands and gets off the plane. It's a little, it's like a young kid.
Because mind you, before that, it's one of the paramedic ladies, and then it goes to an old, very
there's some
frail
stabbing
woman.
in that. There's some stabbing in that.
Yeah, there's some stabbing.
Sequence, but again,
no blood.
Don't say anything.
A lot of stabbing, a lot of death, no blood. You get the old lady who then just follows this girl into the bathroom and then infects the little girl.
Yeah.
And then, from a plane straight up.
Just by herself. Where are her parents?
Somehow is able to manage to walk out with anyone going, hey, that little girl looks
No
lost.
boarding pass, no border security.
Nah, definitely doesn't have a wallet on it.
No, doesn't have a suitcase.
No suitcase, very dirty. Long walk,
Yeah.
but knows where they're going.
I guess Riot just killed everyone, I suppose.
He's just a smart symbiote at the end of it, isn't he? So another thing is this being a Sony movie, is this another reason it's not great?
I can't think of many things Sony has done right in terms of their movies. Like, it's just fumble after fumble.
It seems like they really just want to take a lot of good things in the world and be like, it's ours now.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do it.
Because they originally, they have owned all the Spider-Man related properties forever.
Yeah.
So I think in order to maintain ownership, they have to shit out movies. And that's why they're doing Morbius with the Vulture in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
trying to develop their own sort of universe, I guess, in a way.
Rather than just sell it all to Disney and
I mean,
never make Escape Room 2, because that's all they have without Spider-Man properties.
They're really clutching at straws, trying to get Spider-Man back onto it and realizing that it's just going to be an absolute shitstorm had they not given Marvel more rights again to.
And I think that got in the way of just having a good standalone movie.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we got to set something else up. We need to keep this property. So let's make, Carnage, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not mention Spider-Man at all. Like, there's not even a throwaway line of like, oh, thank God Spider-Man's on his European holiday coming to cinemas next year. Like, they could have done some shitty exposition like that, but they don't even mention.
Yeah. You sort of wonder, how they're going to form their own little universe when... We'll move off track a bit and just say that Morbius trailer where you have the Vulture make an appearance, and then you also have that little Spider-Man graffiti.
But the Spider-Man graffiti is from Sony's version.
Exactly, yeah.
But Michael Keaton is in the MCU
Which was the weird thing I noticed. And I was like, oh, Spider-Man's here. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I saw it, I was like, that's not this Spider-Man. That's...
And comics, change protagonists all the time. Like, you can just have someone else being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The best thing they can do is just get Miles Morales to be Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
And just have two separate universes. Or the same sort of universe, but there's two Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Two Spider-Men.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see where Sony do take this universe that they want to try and create in themselves. There's talk about the Sinister Six stuff being created and all that.
Which looks likely.
Yeah,
given the Morbius trailer.
Yeah, the more that's coming out, and you're like, okay, they're going to lead into it, but it's Sony, so...
And I think that's a big problem with this movie, is just you have a villain for no reason. You have no real opposing force, except another villain who's kind of the same. Yeah,
so that's the thing with the story as well, that, I sort of feel like at the end of this podcast, I'm going to turn out to be hating this movie, because talking about it more with someone sort of...
It's what I do. I infect you like a symbiote. I'm getting in.
Oh, there we go. He's getting into it.
Convincing you that it's a garbage movie.
So the story itself... Obviously, with comic movies, there are many, many different routes you can take because there's so many different
the source material has been there for...
They've had different creators. They've done their own different stories, and it's always been fine. So it's sort of what they reach in and grab out. And I believe when they did this, they were taking two different types of scenarios with the only... handful of symbiotes that were coming back down to Earth and making something out of that, but in the end only having Venom and Riot, and then obviously
a hint of Carnage,
the Carnage at the end of it, thinking that they're there. But in the original story arc, there was, I think, 5 or 6 different symbiotes that were there in their own little family sort of thing. So
why did Venom have to stop Riot? What was Riot doing?
So Riot. So this is the weird thing where Venom just takes a weird turn and becomes more of an anti-hero than a full-on villain.
Yeah.
So the plan for Venom coming, finding Eddie Brock first and being like, so basically we're going to take over this Earth.
Yeah.
Is the main plot.
Okay.
As is for most alien race movies.
Yeah.
They're here to take over the Earth.
Okay.
So the whole thing is he controls Eddie now. He's going to help him to do whatever he wants and all this shit, eat people, and just say basically, look out, people are going to come to this earth and take it over. So enjoy it while it's here. You're going to help me because we fit so well together. And then somehow when Riot comes into it, there's just that snap change in Venom that's like, oh, he's a real bad guy.
Yeah.
We've got to stop him from
all of a
destroying
sudden,
this earth. And you're like,
yeah.
Wasn't that your aim?
You're on the same rocket coming down to Earth. Like,
yeah. I'm like, we're all on the same planet, and you even go, he's the leader. He's that guy that's the team leader. So he's got a mass array of weapons that he can form into and all this shit.
Just leave him alone. He'll do the job in a week.
So it's like, okay, so don't you want to work for him then? Isn't this going to speed up your job? See, now as I'm saying this now, I'm sitting there thinking like, fuck this story, man.
When I was sitting there watching it, I was just like, I had so many moments of just, what? What? Why? Why is this happening?
Yeah, and that's really coming to light now. Yeah, I don't get it.
You know what I love? My favorite thing about this movie, which is actually good, is the new boyfriend his ex gets.
Yeah.
The nicest bloke in the world. Just wants to help.
Best guy.
Just wants to help his new girlfriend's ex.
Yeah, he honestly doesn't care about anything that's going on. He's just like, I just want to help the guy, man.
He's just like, he's so concerned. He's the nicest man in the world.
Best doctor ever.
And every time he was on screen, I'm like, this is the funniest thing. I don't know if it's intentional or not. I think it might be.
Yeah.
I'm going to give credit to the script because he's just comically nice.
He plays it very well. And I think it plays well that Eddie Brock himself also is like really appreciative of him helping him and that.
But he's like falling apart and you can see why he's like a shit boyfriend pretty much.
Yeah.
And the new guy's just like,
but he sort of doesn't care.
Stunning, great man.
He's just like, oh damn, thanks, man. Oh, really appreciate that and all this shit. And you're like,
he just like books him an MRI.
Yeah, like, oh, you come here now, we'll fucking fix this. And granted, they do get Venom out of Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
It doesn't last long.
Just one of those loud CG
screeching
noises,
with the very, very blurry CGI effects that you could just throw together. What
did you watch it on last night? Like Blu-ray or like your TV?
So here's the guilty thing that I had to do. I have it on Blu-ray. I went to put it on Blu-ray. I opened the case, no disc was in there.
So it's just
and I've gone, fuck.
Probably your old
probably
house.
at my dad's because I know he had watched it and might not have made it into the same DVD case. And Brooke just goes to me, just go through all the other DVDs and see if you put in another thing. I'm like, have you seen our wall?
Oh, yeah, for context, there's like, 400 down there or something?
Something like that. We'll put up a photo soon.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But you're not going to go through it all.
No way. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. No. So I had to do the terrible idea of renting it off the Google Play Store for $6.
Did it look... a big problem I had with it is what it looks like. It was heaps dark. Like the end bit, it's all just dark.
Very
can't
dark.
really see. Okay.
And I think that's sort of...
Because I thought maybe my cinema was just fucked and I just think it's a bad movie for no reason.
No, it was very dark through most of it.
Yeah.
The whole movie was pretty dark, especially when high CG parts came into it.
Like the end bit, before the rocket and there's all the fire, it is just pitch fucking black.
It's very, very black and you just see...
And you got two dark characters fighting.
Yeah, which are just... morphing around, and they're not a solid.
No,
they're not a solid character for the whole fight.
And they get away with a lot. They don't have to do much choreography. That. They don't have to do a lot of direction because they're just like they're just mashing together. Like
and that's literally what it is. They just mash together. And there's one point they're actually formed together.
Yeah,
and it's not until his ex turns on the fucking loud screeching sound again, and they separate.
Yeah,
you're like, you were one person for a moment there.
And another good scene is the apartment fight because it's well lit. He's not really Venom. He's just like got bits. Yeah. So you can actually see what's happening, and it's actually a really well put together fight.
That one's a real decent scene. I think even the escape driving scene as well is something that was executed pretty decently as well. So
where he's on the motorbike and shit.
Yeah. I think that actually won an award for best street driving performance. Something like that. Something random and just, it would have been the only movie that had that sort of thing going around at that time. That was done well. And
but your big climax, you can't see it. You simply can't see it.
No, I think that was a big issue was the CG. And because you look at that budget of 116 million, it's not much more than what Sonic was.
No.
And this looked poorer.
Well, a lot of that money would have gone to Tom Hardy.
A decent amount, yeah.
Because he's a big draw now.
And I'm sure Woody Harrelson would have took a decent cut for the cameo appearance for 1
absolutely.
minute. But for something that had a lot of CG property to it, it was.
Yeah,
I think it was a good scapegoat for them to have it just being a goopy mess where they didn't have to focus on a solid CG piece.
No.
And it was just, well, if we just make them goopy and move around and do absolutely nothing in a solid state, we'll be fine.
We get away with
Save
it.
a bit of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And we won't light any of these fucking scenes.
No, because there still wasn't that many scenes. And I feel like even the pacing of the movie was very off as well.
Yeah, right. See, I don't remember that.
You don't remember at all. It was paced. It definitely had a terrible pacing to the story. In the time it had, it was only about an hour and 45 minutes or so runtime. Getting into Eddie and Venom coming together as one took 45 minutes or so getting into it.
Yeah, right.
And then it's very quick in the turn of Riot coming into Carlton Drake's body. And then
Venom being good.
Yeah, quickly being good. There's no outlying,
there's no
government
big event
or police getting involved. And then suddenly it's straight up, yep, Riot's taken over this earth. We're going to stop him. And then suddenly they're at a rocket. And then the movie's done.
Yeah. Yeah, he's already got the rocket just fucking ready to go.
Ready to go.
Keys are in the ignition. Let's fucking go.
Just got to jump on and away they go. And, I'm not going to go into it at all on how quick it goes through because it's so much that's just doesn't make sense in the story, and it just quickly progresses at them. And you look at it, you got 10 minutes left of the movie, and you're going, where did that time go? Because nothing big has happened.
Nah.
Because a lot of it was Venom being with Eddie,
and then they're separated briefly.
They're just trying to get rid of him. And then, they come back together, and then they're best friends.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's that MRI scene where they're sitting there, and you're like, you were trying to kill me?
Yeah.
You were eating me? And he's like, fuck you. And
which is a normal reaction to have.
And then they end their ways, and they go off. Eddie gets captured by the Life Foundation security goons. And Venom's like, well, I'm going to go back to him because he's perfect for my body.
Oh my god, yeah, and he becomes Lady Venom.
Yeah, so then Lady Venom comes in, makes out with Eddie, just as he's about to get executed.
That's
in the fucking
horrible.
Woods. And you're like, and then he goes back into Eddie, and you're like, okay, is he going to be mad in that? And then it's all fine.
Yeah, they're just kind of
turns into Venom, and it's like, you just hated him like 5 minutes ago.
And I think it's because he has to break out. They're like, in the urgency, you just assume they're friends or something.
Yeah.
Like, they just skip over that. There's a really funny bit in that scene where he's like running up to that giant fence, and you're like, he's going to do a cool superhero jump over it. Just runs through it.
Runs straight through it.
That's fucking hilarious.
He can't, as Eddie, he can't jump high. He jumps at a normal human pace, but he's got the weight.
Smashes through it.
And it's a very good fall, and I could give props to the stuntman that had to do it. He took it like a champ. And
it's like Hot Fuzz. You just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just sort of like washed over. Just, all right, we got to get to the big conflict at the end.
Yeah, and
when the conflict happens, there's a bit of punching.
The conflict was there, but it wasn't very into it.
And there's just so many open-ended questions. It's just like, well, what are the rules? You have to have rules within a movie.
Exactly.
Like Venom gets stabbed through the middle with a giant spear, and he spits Eddie Brock out. Eddie Brock's just fine. So if he's in this, like, again, this goes back to, is it a suit? Is it part of him?
Yeah.
Like, how is he just okay?
Because you have those times where he reveals half his face.
Yeah.
And Eddie's in there talking fine.
He's just like, he's still in his shirt. Like, he's still in his nice button-up shirt.
Yeah. So those rules are just...
And that's why I think it's a bad movie, because it's just like, it doesn't know its own rules. It doesn't know its own context.
Yeah.
It has no idea what it's doing. It's one of the most incompetent fucking movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. And I think that plays into the ending as well, where... the rocket ship blows up with Riot on it, killing Riot and Carlton Drake, and then Eddie's fallen to the sea, and big flames coming. Venom's making like a parachute to make it easy for him, but he's burning away.
Yeah, because fire is his weakness.
Goodbye, Eddie. And you get that saying, the only things we don't like is a high frequency pitch sound and fire.
Yeah.
So he's burning away into nothing. By the rules of Venom,
that should be it.
Should be completely dead.
You need that funny scene. You need the sequels.
Yeah. So Eddie falls in, There's no venom on him anymore. It's all burnt away. And then you get the end scene ending to the movie, talking to his ex. She's saying, oh, yeah, sorry about Venom. You lost him in that. And then you get that sound of Venom in his head. You go,
I guess he's just back.
He's still alive.
He's just...
How does that work? We just watched him burn into nothing.
Yeah. And we saw them very clearly separate. Like,
yeah.
All right, he's just back. Need a sequel.
But he doesn't have... I don't believe the symbiote has a regenerative...
No, that's not really... No.
If part of it's burned away, then surely...
Yeah, if it's burned away, yeah.
Yeah, surely that means he'd be... his power would be lessened, maybe.
I guess we'll find out in October when Venom 2 comes out.
One of those things. So that leads me to the big one now, is the sequel of Venom 2.
Which is shooting right now.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's been posting photos.
Tom Hardy doing the naughty thing.
Way deep in it. Yeah, you just posted a photo of Woody Harrelson in costume.
Just saying, you should lead us.
Yeah.
You're going,
how is he allowed to do that?
Push the limits. Because he did it at the start when they said Venom was filming. He had to very quickly take that photo down because they're like, what are you doing? Don't fucking say it now.
Yeah.
And he just keeps doing it. Every now and then he posts a photo and you're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm happy to see this, but you're going to get in trouble, bro.
I think the studio are like, holy fuck, he came back. Just let him. We don't want him to walk away from this project.
Yeah, it could be their own little form of marketing.
Little cash cow.
So, Venom 2 is now going to be directed by Andy Serkis.
Which gives me hope, because Andy Serkis
should give people a lot of hope.
And a genius.
He's every single CG character you've ever loved.
Yeah.
He is that person.
He is, if anyone can do something with it.
Yeah.
The problem he has some rebuilding to do. He has to, you can't just go into an entirely new movie. He has to go, the end of Venom 1 still happened.
Yeah, he's still got to play into those
So
events.
we might still have to explain that.
Yeah. So I think, I am very hopeful for it, but it begs the question as well. Andy Serkis has done a lot of great things. You can't take anything away from the guy, but directing-wise, he hasn't done too much. He's had a hand in a lot of producing, being second man camera on The Hobbit and that, and then all the CG character work he's done. He's a fucking genius, but for a big movie like this and a sequel, you sort of got to be a little bit worried.
Yeah,
is he going to be? Can he comprehend a full script and a full cast and overlook a lot more than he would?
And I hope he brings, back to what I was saying before, I hope he brings some choreography to the fight sequences. Yeah, because he knows CG. He knows a lot of CG.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of connections himself.
Maybe he'll bring mocap into it. Because I don't imagine they mocapped this Venom 1.
No, I wouldn't think so.
It looks completely...
There's barely any fighting.
And the way he walks and stuff is just it's
you can easily just into that
Yeah.
pretty simply in a fucking...
So I'm hoping... I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends how much money and freedom they give him.
Yeah. So that...
If they're still going, no, this is in a universe, you have to adhere to the Morbius... You have to tie it in somehow. Are they gonna? It could fall apart.
Yeah, it has a potential to be a flop. It has potential to be a better movie, and
I think it will be a better movie.
It'll be better. It could still suck, but
it'll be better.
Definitely be better. But I'm very hopeful on it. It's going to be good to see. Definitely to see more of Woody Harrelson in this.
Yeah,
and to know that we're going to go into it with an actual set Venom versus someone.
Yeah.
Plus whatever else they're going to bring to the table.
And there's a bit more recognition with Carnage. I feel like people know Carnage a bit better than fucking Riot.
Yeah.
I grew up playing Spider-Man. I had no fucking idea who Riot was.
No, but you knew who Carnage was.
Yeah. Because the PS1 game.
Yeah, exactly. I was in there. Riot was there in the comics.
Yeah.
But not everyone followed from the comics. A lot of people knew... Well, I mean, a lot of people knew Venom from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Which
is considered not great.
Which is definitely
because it's not great.
it's literally just a black-suited Spider-Man with a lot more teeth.
And he's in it for about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But Sam Raimi, I'm not going to... There's a whole other podcast of me just defending those movies. We'll do it as a Christmas special or something where I will just suck Sam Raimi's dick for 3 hours.
That's right.
We'll go back to...
We'll lead to that one.
One day. Look forward to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so there's a lot that Serkis can do with this one.
Is he going to be in it? We don't know, do we?
We don't know if he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
But knowing him, I'm sure he'll want to chuck himself in as some sort of character. Whether he be a mocap character for whatever character he can make out of it, or he's just like a weird bystander in actual live action Andy Serkis moment.
Yeah, you never know.
You'll get something from him. Either way, you're going into this knowing you got someone who has a lot of credibility behind him.
Yeah. So, he's a bigger name, bigger draw.
Obviously, they're going to go into it a lot more. They're still going to go into it confident because of the box office draw that they made.
Yeah, fucking, why wouldn't you?
Because they're going to look... Okay.
$900 million.
It's fucking low. It's almost $1 billion movie. And for whatever reason, I don't know. Because they profited off that hard.
Yeah.
And it didn't come off the back of a lot of merchandising sales.
No.
There wasn't a lot of
merchandise. It didn't come off anything.
Because realistically, any merchandise that came out, you had a select amount of pop vinyls for this movie, but any other property is Marvel owned.
Yeah.
And
they just Venom, yeah.
They brought out all the Venomized pops of other superheroes. That's Marvel property.
Yeah.
They own that look. So
right.
On the back of this movie, they didn't release a lot of merchandise to warrant any extra profit gained. Right. It was just here's a movie.
Purely,
and somehow just kept making money, and the reviews kept coming in about how shit it was, but it was still making money.
Didn't turn people away.
And I think it's just the fact that it was a different type of movie, and it was from the start. It was always a lot of worry from a lot of people because a lot of people did want the R rating.
Yeah,
they wanted to push for an R rating, and I think that's what they wanted to push for in the studio, and then they just turned it back and went, "No, it's not going to happen.
We need more eyes on this." Like with an R rating, you definitely limit your box office because there's a window. There's literally an age window to get in.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a thing of, are they gonna increase the rating for Andy Serkis?
I doubt it. If M worked, if a studio sees, all right, well, M still made $900 million, just keep this on M.
Yeah.
Because 15-year-olds can still come and see it.
Yeah.
So I think they'll leave it as is. And also it wouldn't make sense to go from a not very violent movie to just this horrific swearing, Deadpool gore movie.
I know, it's going to be different, but I still feel, knowing what we're going to get in the second one, I still want to push for it for B.
I would love it to be higher, because stronger.
You get... Just hearing Venom vs. Carnage, and all you can think of is just utter chaos in your head. You're thinking so much blood, so much swearing. It's so much darker and gritty.
They'll do the Batman vs. Superman thing where they'll go to an island and be like, thank God we evacuated this island and there's no people around to accidentally kill.
Fucking A.
That's literally a line in Batman vs. So I think they'll do that.
Yeah, I'm still high. I think it will still be a good movie.
I'll definitely see it. If that first trailer is good, I will be excited.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna pay dividends, is how hard they drive a first trailer.
Yeah,
even a teaser, because you look at the Batman now. They tease a red backgrounded Robert Pattinson, the new suit. You get the glimpse of the bat symbol on the front, and then it's complete darkness, and everyone's losing their fucking shit still. Yeah,
and that's what it's going to be. What is Carnage going to look like?
Yeah.
Or how is he going to sound? Is he just going to have Woody Harrelson's voice, with a couple of Pro Tools layers on it?
I'm sure it'll still be Pro Tooled out, and they'll make it something deeper and not Woody. But
I wonder if they'll change Venom's voice, because the big criticism was you don't know what Venom's saying. Yeah, because it's too much.
That's another point as well. There were points when Venom was speaking where
it's like he's mumbling.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mumble. The part that got me was when they at the very end when he's talking to the fucking. The guy that's coming in to get the money off the convenience chick, and he's going,
it was in the trailer, that big, it's like a monologue.
Yeah, because he's like, we'll rip off your arms and your legs and then your face. And you'll be this faceless thing rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. When I first heard that, you know how many times I had to rewind because I'm like,
fucking what?
A what in the wind?
What?
And then I eventually got to get my turd in the wind?
He's doing like sort of an accent. It's not Tom Hardy. Is it?
I think it's Tom Hardy.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm actually pretty sure it is Tom Hardy.
It's like he's doing an accent or something, but like it's just so garbled, and there's so much like bass and booming behind it. I get it. He's got to have this big impending voice, but you still got to be able to understand him.
Yeah, no.
Like we were saying, like his personality is so much of it.
Yeah,
but if he's throwing out zingers and you don't know what they fucking are.
Yeah, there's weird. Yeah. Yeah, no, he did do the voice as well.
Yeah, right.
So it would have been just laid over.
Yeah.
As they do. But yeah, it definitely, maybe they will look back into it and try to remove a couple layers to try and make it a bit more clear, but still give him that tone. Because I like the tone that Venom had, but yeah, he just needed to be a bit more clearer.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, the Carnage one's going to be interesting to see how Woody does it, or if they just get someone else to do the Carnage voice.
Because I think Woody Harrelson will be really good as Cletus.
Yeah.
Because Woody Harrelson's just good.
Yeah,
he's just always good.
Great.
And he's good at doing like deranged, like
weird,
weirdo. Yeah, he's good at weird stuff.
Because he's also just got a weird face in general.
Oh yeah, that helps.
It's a strange jawline.
Yeah,
he's
got those like sunken in eyes that are like kind of all over the place.
It's basically a taller, fatter Jason Statham.
Yeah,
with a redneck mustache.
If Jason Statham spent 12 hours a day on the bongs, that would be Woody Harrelson.
Now you listen here. I wasn't in fucking Zombieland.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good Statham.
I love my Statham.
That's
He's
not bad.
A fucking great guy. He plays the same guy in every single movie, but I love the cunt so much.
So what do they do? Such a big problem with this is you're making a Venom movie without Spider-Man. Full stop on this movie. Why is this movie bad? You've made a Venom movie without Spider-Man. What do they do? What do you think? 2 questions. What do they do, and what do you think they're going to do?
What do they do? I think they do what Sony does and do whatever they want to do.
Sweep it under the rug.
They go, yeah, we hear ya,
but
we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I think they've definitely got. I think they've got the future in mind already.
That's the problem, though. That's
the issue.
That's where the movie
because they don't have the future that like Kevin Feige has in Marvel.
No.
Kevin Feige can predict 15 years down the line.
Yeah, because
every movie will be a hit.
Always gonna Whereas Sony is movie to movie. Like
Sony's like maybe it'll do good. We'll still think about the future, but we're not sure on the first.
Because Fox did that with X-Men. They were like, we've got a trilogy planned. The first one did really well. The second one was incredible. The third one was garbage, and they were like, oh fuck! Now we have to do a fourth one. Let's just remake X-Men 3, and nobody saw it, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
I think
I haven't followed the X-Men movies.
Exactly, and I think Sony run the risk of going that route of planning too far ahead.
Yeah, and I think it might be a case of working the Sinister Six case, where they might want
to while they have it.
Yeah, while they have Morbius coming, because obviously Morbius is going to come out, Venom 2 is going to come out closely around each other, so it sets it up well.
You would assume they're going to tie in pretty heavily.
So I think that Sony already know they've got an endgame planned. I think that they don't care how well Venom 2 does purely because they made money off the first one. So even if they lose more, they'll be like, well, it's fine because it won't be a Venom 3.
I like the way you put that. They have a destination, but they don't care how they get there.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're just going to shit out movies until it makes sense for Sinister Six to be a movie.
And I think
until people know like what they look like and know enough.
Yeah. I think it's shit the way they've done it.
Yeah.
But they know that people are still going to see it. And Venom 1 is a prime fucking example.
Yeah, 100%.
They look at how much money it made. They go, yeah, people say it's shit. They still watched it.
There's still
got the money.
Still bums in seats. Like
exactly right.
Even me, like I hate that movie. I paid to go and see it. I took time out to go and see it. Like of course.
So
I'll be there very early. Venom 2.
Yeah, without a doubt. So what I think they should do, I don't know. I think
they need to just go, fuck it. We have our own Spider-Man. We will never say the word Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We'll just call him Miles Morales. We'll call him Ultimate.
That's ideally what I want as well. I want there to be...
They bring Spider-Verse, like in Spider-Verse 2 maybe there's like a scene of a live action bit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this is in this universe, and you see Venom in the background or something.
Because that's another thing. The post-credits scene to Venom in the cinemas was a preview scene of Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. I didn't stay that long.
Yeah. I stayed through the whole thing because I knew that there was, whenever these movies
I didn't think
out,
there was going to be two. I don't know why.
Yeah, so you had the first one where they introduced Cletus Cassidy as being Carnage. Like, sick. I like to read up before going to these movies to know how many credit scenes I should wait around for. Like, you got one and then you got another one at the very end. I'm like, fuck, all right, stick around for it. Stuck around to the very end, and it's just the cemetery scene in Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was
there you go. There's your out.
So it's sort of like, is that a foretelling into the future of something is eventually
were they
going to
thinking
link up?
that far ahead, or were they just like, go and watch our next movie?
Yeah, because obviously Spider-Verse absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking...
Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know. I finally watched it a couple months ago for the first time, and fucking hell, that is a great movie.
It was genuinely...
so good. It's so different, but it's so good.
But that's their out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their out. They just go, okay, here's someone from an alternate timeline, an alternate universe.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a big thing. A big talking point has been people want to see the Miles Morales Spider-Man in a live adaptation. And it could be now in Venom 2.
Good time.
Said, it doesn't have to be in the whole story. It can be at least a mention of there actually being Spider-Man in the town, in the world right now. That
Morbius trailer is just, it's so lazy putting that image of Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like...
It's weird.
It was so people would talk about the trailer.
Yeah.
But they had that in Michael Keaton at
the
end.
You had it in there and you're like, that's the biggest talking
That's what I was
there.
excited about.
People only eventually noticed the Spider-Man part and went, oh, but did you notice the Spider-Man? Like, you kind of gathered that if you saw Michael Keaton in it. Gathered there's something to do with Spider-Man in it. But it is a weird drag, and it's hard to say what you think that Sony should do. The only thing I can think of, is going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's my answer, is they have to fold their own Spider-Man into it. And just go, okay, whatever, it's separate. People are going to ask a lot of questions on the internet. Who cares? We have two separate Spider-Man. Done. Yeah,
and I think Andy Serkis can be on board with that as well, being that he had a hand in some of the Marvel movies as well.
Yeah, he was...
So he sort of had those ties where...
He was around.
And
he's dead in that universe. He got shot in the face in that universe. So,
yeah, he's gone.
He's all right.
But I mean, I'm sure he's mocapped plenty of people in that anyway. But yeah, there's hope for the future, I guess. But don't get too excited because
there'll be a lot to talk about. At least it's good for us.
Oh yeah, I mean, as long as we're still going by then, and I'm sure we will be, because this is just fun.
It is.
I'm just happy talking about movies. I tend to just like to watch a movie and be like, yeah, that was cool. And then just bank on other people seeing it and be like, did you like that movie? They go, yeah, it was a good movie. I'm like, yeah.
Let me fire into why.
Now you can listen to the podcast about that.
Correct.
So I guess ending on this, I still think Venom was an okay movie. I'm sorry. I'd still watch it again just because I like the comedy of Venom and
I'll watch it again before Venom 2.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a little 10-minute, like, what I thought of it going back to it just before Venom 2.
That'll be a good little bonus.
Maybe at the start of the Venom 2 one. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Done. We're planned for the
October.
End of the year. But yeah, most people would have seen it by now. There's no rules. We can't really tell you to go watch it, not watch it. You've either seen it now, you haven't, you don't plan to. But if you're excited for more superhero stuff in the future and what might come after,
it's just an interesting story, like Sony and Disney not agreeing and doing their own separate things. It's just interesting.
They're a funny bunch of people. And I think it's just the case now.
They keep coming close to like closing a deal, and then
I
it's so funny to watch it unfold.
Yeah, I think it's just Marvel being owned by Disney now. It sort of just says we'll never lose a battle. We have too much money.
Marvel are just this big cloud, just fucking swallowing.
And as long as Kevin Feige is alive and running that shit, they're always going to be the top dogs in the fucking movie world.
Kevin Feige is like this massive celebrity. Like everyone knows who he is. Who the fuck runs Sony?
I I've got no fucking idea.
Exactly.
They have so many different byproducts, and you're just like, we talking
No
about Sony
personality,
TVs
yeah, like-
or what? Kevin Feige's like, oh yeah, it's that weird tall guy that always wears that fucking cap.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like an embarrassing dad.
Yeah, that's exactly what he fucking looks like. But no, he pumps out all these fucking movies that have just
He's
been
a genius.
all
He is a
basically
genius.
billion-dollar movies.
He changed movies forever because now every movie has to be a fucking franchise.
What would you think before Feige came into it? You would just be getting Sony-branded superhero movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at how the first Hulk movie happened.
Yeah.
You look at a lot of early movies, even that weren't done by Sony. In that, I think
Nobody knew what they were doing. Yeah.
No, you had the early ones of like Daredevil, the original Batmans,
And it's a big criticism of Marvel is it just follows the same formula, but they invented the formula. There's a formula because of Iron Man 1.
Yeah, and that's another person you can thank is
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. and
John Favreau.
Favreau, yeah, that's the one. That dude is also a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Because he did that movie, and as well as Feige pioneered this universe to what it is. And this little fucking bike.
Does he have to do that right now?
Trying to do a podcast.
He's ripping fat monos.
His little fucking dirt bike. I've just, pioneered a world that no one is going to come close to being able to recreate.
And even now, like, this is a Venom episode, but we're talking about how great Kevin Feige and Marvel are. It's always going to be Sony's problem.
Yeah.
It's just always going to be, like, one foot on their throat.
Yeah,
just
it doesn't matter. They
can't, damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Exactly. As it happened last year when they said Marvel aren't going to have the rights to Spider-Man anymore. It's going back to Sony.
Yeah. Everyone went villains, like, Sony are Nazis. Like, everyone's just
torches down the
jumped on
road,
them.
coming for their head. And all you do is you feel for, like, Tom Holland and Kevin Feige losing this. Such a big property that they
And Sony were like,
got.
No, we've always had this. Like this.
Yeah. And it's like,
like,
but you didn't do anything with him.
They borrowed our lawnmower. We just took it back. And I need to mow my lawn. And he needs to do wheelies up the road. Fucking hell.
He's just got to rip it up.
And now there's thunder as well.
Oh, mate, it's fun.
What a disaster.
We're at the end of it now anyway. The fucking dude in the bike's just breaking down the front. With handlebars like that, I'm fucking not surprised you have. So, fuck you for interfering with my shit.
If Adam's neighbor ever listens to this, he's gonna get a rude shock.
Yeah, or I'll just fucking help him pay for a new fucking motor, whatever the fuck he needs. Yeah, so whatever we were just saying about Marvel and that, just
we're so derailed.
I'm just derailed now. The whole fucking
the Sony
going back with Spider-Man and that. Like listening to Tom Holland talk about, even saying goodbye to a lot of people that he became huge friends with because of these movies, and it hits you in the fucking heart where you're just like, fuck. He's a young kid with these big time actors.
It's finally like every kid wants to be Spider-Man. Like he got to be Spider-Man.
He got to be, for me, the best iteration of Spider-Man. Sorry.
On our Christmas special, I'll tell you why you're wrong and why Tobey Maguire is the best.
Fucking hate it so much. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, and then I didn't think it was that long until
it wasn't that long.
Broke.
And then I was just like, whatever, he's back.
Yeah, they'll give him back for however long they're going to give him back for until Disney go, we're just going to write a check for you and you're going to surrender it.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep him forever. But listening to Tom talk about, he was like drunk at a bar when the people from Marvel called him to discuss all this shit. And eventually, after a lot of crying and sweating and phone calls and messages and emails, getting it all back and him basically playing one of the biggest parts of Marvel being able to use him again.
Yeah.
And again, it just shows you Marvel won.
Marvel wins again.
They won.
They have nothing to do with him anymore. Like, his arc is finished, really.
Spider-Man.
After Far From Home.
With that big ending.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm only thinking about fucking...
I was going to say, sorry, did we not remember...
I remember, don't worry.
Do we not remember that
there's heaps to do with him.
That amazing performance from Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I got it. I remember.
Yeah,
okay.
We're on there now.
Hey.
There's a lot more to be done now.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Yeah,
I'm back on Marvel side.
they drew you straight back in. All it took was one scene. But yeah, Marvel are always going to win this. Spider-Man's always going to be around, and Venom is going to be something that hopefully is improved upon.
He's like the child stuck in the custody battle because everyone wants a good Venom fighting Spider-Man or like teaming up with Spider-Man or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, he's always going to be, well, I'm sorry, I'm in with my dad, Sony.
that was probably one of the big things. People always wanted to get Venom, and they got him in Spider-Man 3, and they were like, that's not what we wanted.
Thanks, do it again.
That's wrong.
Give it another crack.
And then too long later, you finally get the solo Venom, and you still go...
And you get a fine Venom. You get a pretty good Venom. He's just got nothing to do because he's by himself.
Yeah.
He's just got to fight a version of himself.
They basically just go, all right, here's the Venom you've always wanted. It's like, that's not what we've wanted, but thanks for trying.
Thanks, I guess. Here's some ticket money.
Here's $900 million.
Yes.
To get it
I'll just PayPal that to you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm hopeful for the sequel. I'm hoping it's going to bring around some new freshness to Sony.
Something.
I mean, I'm highly doubting it, but I have faith.
Well, Morbius is already done, so if Morbius is shit and then Venom 2's good, they're in trouble.
I know. But that's just how Sony works, isn't it?
Oh, shit, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Let's keep
They'll be like, yeah, but look, we've given you Jared Leto.
Here's some toys.
Yeah, which is going to be weird. I'm looking forward to Morbius though.
I can't stand Jared Leto, but Michael Keaton as the Vulture, he was like one of the best performances.
The only thing I can say for Jared Leto is there's one scene in that trailer where he's walking in like this award fucking ceremony or something, and he's wearing this long ass tux, and then he's got the long hair and the beard, and I'm just going, that's original 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto right there. I could pay that. But yeah, he's not the greatest actor.
Hey, he was in Fight Club. You can forgive him.
You want me to say something funny?
Sure.
I've never seen Fight Club.
What?
What? Bro, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen in this world.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Man, I only just watched Joker the other night.
Yeah, but good point. Good movie.
Fucking great movie.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, though. I like it a lot.
Yeah, my jaw was
I like it more than this fucking movie, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. That's apparent. I think there's a lot of movies out there. I think you might have been like Power Rangers more than this.
Ooh.
Actually,
there we go.
Good question. Where does that rank up?
Fuck.
Power Rangers, Venom. Where's that for you?
Power Rangers at least had more to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
I'll give you a moment.
No, I fucking hate Venom, so I hate this movie so fucking much. Until I saw The Predator, Venom was the worst movie I'd ever seen. And they were pretty close together, so it wasn't long.
Fucking The Predator. Another movie that let me down in my childhood. Yeah, look, if I'm going on a rating system, I'll give Venom a 6.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That high.
I told you I like it.
I give it a 3 because Tom Hardy's all right, and they turned the cameras on.
He's your only saving grace.
And they pointed the cameras at things, and that happened.
They did move.
It's about as nice as I can be about this fucking movie.
That's fine. All right, I guess we'll end it on that note. We delved a lot away from Venom in the end here, but
that's the thing. Like the story is more interesting than the movies.
Yeah, I think the future.
There's
is
more to talk about. Yeah,
than what actually happened in this first one.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a good one to talk about when it does come out. Maybe even when we get the first trailer, we can maybe do a quick. We'll do a 5-minute bonus trailer reaction video or podcast, whatever. That'd be fun to do. So,
video is a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, we can branch out and do some shit. People are still listening to us for some reason. I don't know why, but we thank you all for joining us on this journey.
We have hot takes and zesty wit.
We like to talk shit. But yeah, guys, thank you again for listening to the You Like That podcast. Follow us on all our socials. They'll be linked in the description. Even
we don't know what's next.
No. I mean, I think we have an idea of what's next.
We have a vague idea.
I still need to watch it, but something else could come up before then. But we'll figure it out, and we'll always notify you the day before or 2 days before we record it just to give you a bit of
Get you hyped.
bit of hype, bit of excitement, if that's what you're into. I don't fucking know. You're still here with us, so we thank you for it. So on that note, I'm Adam.
I'm Jack.
And you like that podcast.
Very good. And I fucking hate this movie! Yes!